Well guys, this is the kind of video you ask me for a lot, right? Like tell me a cool color to paint my living room, my bedroom, the front of my house. So here are 10 colors that I handpicked, in my opinion, all in shades of gray, all right? Later I can make another video here with beige tones, gray tones, which are really cool and also very trendy right now. But in this specific video, there are 10 colors in shades of gray, and I'm sure you'll pick one of them. The first color, guys, is Vintage Photo. What does this color bring to you when painting a living room, painting a bedroom, or a TV room? It's a neutral shade of gray, very similar to ice, but it has its own glamour, its own uniqueness. It's a very beautiful color. If you like ice, which is very well known in interior design, and want a gray shade that's close to it, ice, but yeah, like I've seen it in a lot of houses and in a lot of places, but I think it's beautiful. Is there another color that's closer to this color but isn't ice? Here it is, look, Vintage Photo. This is a very light shade of gray. Yes, I can classify it as medium to light, okay? Because there are also darker shades that you can use to paint all the walls inside your house. So look how cool that is. It's a color that won't clash, just like ice. It doesn't clash with your decor. You can paint all the walls inside your house, your apartment, with Vintage Photo as well. You're free to paint your living room, your bedroom, the hallway, the corridor, the kids' room, the teenagers' room. In short, you can paint all the walls inside. And why not also use this Vintage Photo shade as the main color on the facade of your house? Yes, it's a color I recommend for you to paint the facade of your house as the main color, the one that will stand out on the front of your house. Another very common question you ask me is, can I use the same color I paint the facade of my house to paint the inside as well? Yes, no problem at all. This one right here, for example, is totally fine. I recommend it 100% for you to use to paint the facade of your house, for example, obviously for the facade. You need to add more colors there. I wouldn't recommend just one color. You need to work with 2 or 3 colors. But yes, you can use it as the predominant color. This first color I'm showing you here, Retro Photo, is a popular color, a trending color to paint both the inside of your house or apartment and the facade of your house. This second color here, guys, called Asteroid, really resembles chromic gray, okay? I can even tell you that it's like a twin of chromic gray, this color here, Asteroid. Let's use the same example as the ice shade, okay? You like the ice shade, but you didn't want to use it because everyone already does. So you go with Retro Photo. Chromic gray is also a very well-known color in the decoration world, okay? It's a color that is starting to get a bit repetitive, kind of overused, okay? That's the best word for us to use. But then you say, like, is there a color? Can you suggest a color for me that's very similar to chromic gray, but isn't exactly it, okay? Here it is, look, Asteroid. It's also a neutral gray tone, a medium gray shade. I'd classify it as a shade you can use to paint all the interior walls in your house or apartment, and it will look really beautiful. Just reminding you that these 2 colors here, these first 2 colors I'm already showing you, they can be used, check out this tip, as the main color, okay? It can be that color you use to paint all the walls. And then each room in your house, whether you live in an apartment or a regular house, it doesn't matter at all. You can pick one wall in each room and choose a darker shade of gray if you like gray tones to paint your house. These first 2 colors I'm showing you here and this second one, our Asteroid here, are colors you can use to paint all the walls. And then choose one wall per room. I always recommend the following: never paint all the walls with a strong dark color, okay? Use a color, not just shades of gray, but any shade. Use a darker color from that color palette, and then for the other 3 walls in the same room, you use a lighter shade, which is exactly this Asteroid I'm talking about here. You can paint 3 walls in your bedroom. And for example, the wall behind the headboard, you can paint with a darker color from the same gray palette. This one here, guys, the color Protabale, is a medium gray shade, already leaning, let's say, about 75% towards medium dark, okay? It's a color that you need to be a little careful with when painting the inside of your house. When I talk about being careful, what do I mean and what do I want you to understand? This color here, look, Prata Bale, it's a shade of medium gray that's already leaning towards dark, okay? We know that the gray palette, right, has thousands of colors. You have a huge variety of colors in the gray palette. And then, within these palettes, we have those really light colors that almost look white, right? There are the medium colors, the medium gray tones, and there are those darker colors. So between the medium and the dark, I can put this Prata Bale here about 60% of the way from medium to dark. So, what do you need to be careful about when choosing this color here? Look, the Prata Bale, okay? To paint your house on the inside. Let's talk about the inside first. It's a color that if you're going to paint all the walls of a single room and you already have a dark wood look floor. Look how nice, you already have a dark wood look floor. You also have your cabinetry in dark tones. The gray of your sofa is also that really dark gray. And then you need to be careful, because if not, you end up making your space too dark by using this Ballet silver color. It's not that it's not recommended, that's not it. You just need to be careful. Are you going to use Ballet silver? Okay, that's perfect. It's a beautiful color in the gray palette. However, you need to be careful because it won't be comfortable for you in those environments where you chose the Ballet silver color if you go overboard with other materials in dark colors. So my tip and the care you should take when choosing the Ballet silver color, that's my opinion, okay? There are many professionals who have different opinions. My opinion for you who choose this color here to paint the inside of your house is just to be careful with the other elements. Otherwise, you end up making it too dark, exactly because this color is already a medium shade of gray, already leaning towards the darker side, okay? This next color here, White Azalea, is totally the opposite of the last one I just mentioned to you, Ballet Silver. Why? Because it's very light, okay? It's very soft, very neutral. White Azalea, I want to do a review for you here, okay? If you like Cockatiel Gray, pay attention, okay? If you like it, you've already seen it in some places, in some houses painted in Cockatiel Gray, and you like that color, but you don't want to repeat that color in your house. Man, Edipo Kleber, I thought it was so beautiful. A really light gray. It matched the white doors, the wood look floor, the white ceiling. It looked so nice, but I didn't want to repeat that color in my house. Here's my tip, okay? White Azalea, I can consider this color as a sister to Cockatiel Gray. Almost a twin sister, okay? Almost a twin sister there, to Cockatiel Gray. Cockatiel Gray, by the way, is the color I have painted in my apartment, just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, okay? But if you like a light gray shade and want to choose a color close to Cockatiel Gray, here's my tip for you. Look, White Azalea. You have no idea how beautiful this color looks after it's painted with the white door, okay? With the white baseboard, with wood look flooring, whether it's vinyl or porcelain tile, with nice plaster detailing, which will also add value to your living room, your property, okay? This color here, for those of you who like light gray tones, is an excellent choice to paint your house. Our next color is Arctic Morning. Now, I want to tell you that I can consider this one a little lighter than Cockatiel Gray, or even practically a twin of Cockatiel Gray. If you didn't like White Azalea, which was our previous color, I'm bringing you this one, Arctic Morning, okay? I can classify it as, let's say, 10% lighter than White Azalea, let's put it that way. There's a really important point here that I want you to understand now, okay? A light gray tone, that really light color like Cockatiel, Arctic Morning, White Azalea, Photo Retro, those colors in very light gray tones. It can vary depending on your lighting. Yeah, like what do you mean by that? Pay attention. When you have cool white lighting, which is that shade from the lamp, that really whiter light, okay? The painted gray color, especially Arctic Morning here, will be a cooler gray, that stronger gray. You will really be able to see the color of the gray Arctic Morning painted on your wall when the lighting is cool white, okay? When it's a neutral white, you can still get that feeling. Now, when you have Arctic Morning painted on the walls of your house, and you use warm white lighting, pay attention, warm white is that lighting that has a yellowish tone, okay? It's totally the opposite of that white lighting we use, which I recommend for the kitchen, the bathroom, or a laundry room, okay? So the temperature of the lamp in warm white will give you that feeling with these light colors, okay? Dark colors don't have much effect, but a light shade of gray, when you use warm white lighting, gives the impression, you'll start to get the impression that that color is turning beige. You know that feeling? Man, I painted my wall here with a shade of gray, but it looks like papel picado. It's a shade of gray, but leaning toward beige. So just be careful with that perception. Sometimes you'll think, man, I chose the wrong color. That's not it. You didn't pick the wrong color, and I didn't say it was one color here and another there. That's not the issue, okay? It's exactly because of the lighting tone that this visual effect will happen in your decor. So, light shades of gray painted inside your house, when you use warm white lighting, they change a bit, they tend to look more beige. Take this tip so you don't think you made a mistake choosing your color. Now I want to show you the pure white color. For those of you who like and are fans of the color white but don't want to make everything monochromatic, that single color painted inside your house. Pure white, guys, this pure white color is to break up that monochromatic look you might have in your house. I always recommend in my projects, and here in the videos I tell you that the ceiling should be white, okay? In my projects, the ceiling has to be white, alright? Why? Because then you're free to work with colors on the walls, the floor, and other elements. So, if you say something like, yeah, I like the color white, I want to have white in my house, but I don't want that hospital or clinic feeling where everything is white, okay? So here's a great color suggestion for you, pure white, alright? Choose this color to paint the walls in your house. It's much lighter than Cockatiel gray, just so you know. Cockatiel is already a very light color in the gray palette. And then pure white comes in to make it even lighter compared to Cockatiel gray. Our next color, still in the gray palette, is Ponte Estalhada. If you pay attention, it is indeed a shade of gray, but it really resembles a shade of green. If you, like me, are a fan of the color green, and those who have been following me here for a long time know this, besides the shades of gray, which I also really like, here's a color in the gray palette, okay? Don't look for this color in the green palette because you won't find it, okay? Even though it really resembles a shade of green, here's a color for you if you want to have a color inside your house. Painted in a shade of gray from the gray palette, but still hinting at green. Look, Edipo, I really like the color fennel, which is a very light shade of green, but I didn't want to go with that color. Here, look, a shade of gray with a hint of green called Ponte Estalhada for you to paint the interior walls of your house. And I would also suggest to you the following, that besides the interior walls of your house, you can feel free to choose a type of wood look flooring, a lighter type of floor, a white ceiling. You can also use this color. The color Ponte Estalhada in your kitchen cabinetry, for example, or in your bathroom cabinetry. Okay? It's a very beautiful color. It's a really nice shade of gray. I like it a lot. On my next project here, I'll show you guys. I always show my projects. I'll suggest it to my client, okay? This color, Ponte Estalhada, to paint the inside of his house, his apartment, or even the cabinetry there, whether in the kitchen or in the bathrooms. Our next color, called Mangaratiba, is also a shade that catches your attention because it's a shade of gray, but it really resembles lilac. You can see that the previous color I showed you resembles green, but it's actually in the gray palette. And now Mangaratiba is a shade of gray, but if you stop to analyze it with me here and pay attention to this color, it will remind you of lilac, a very light shade of lilac. Look at what a nice feeling we get when we choose a color to paint our house. See how much of a difference it makes when you choose the right color to paint your property, the facade of your house, your son's or daughter's room, your bedroom suite, your TV room. Just look at how many options we have to choose from just in the gray palette. Isn't that cool? This Mangaratiba color reminds me of lilac and looks beautiful. I would choose it. I would definitely choose it to paint all the interior walls of my house, to be a predominant color on the facade of my house. And I want to take this opportunity to tell you the following. Down here in the description of this video, I'm going to leave 2 links for you. Number 1, the link to an ebook of mine that I prepared with a lot of research in shades of gray, and the second ebook is in shades of beige. So there are 2, all right? 2 ebooks that I prepared with a lot of research, colors that I use in my projects, color combinations, with up to 3 colors. For you to use to paint the facade of your house, for you to paint the inside of your home, your apartment. So besides this video that I'm making for you with a lot of research, okay? I also have 2 ebooks with carefully selected colors to help you choose the right combination for painting the inside of your home. I spent almost a month preparing each of these ebooks with a lot of care and a lot of research. I'll say it again. It's to make your life easier. If you're looking for shades of gray or beige or color combinations using 2 or 3 colors to paint the exterior of your house, get my ebook, okay? It's down here in the description. They're the first 2 links, gray and beige tones. I'm sure you'll like it, and it's really cheap, okay? It's nothing crazy. It doesn't even cost 50 reais, okay? There are several files that I prepared for you, including videos that you can get to help you succeed in painting your house. Did you like these colors? Would you choose one of these to paint your house? I want to read your comment down below, so leave a comment for me, and don't forget that I'll see you in our next video. Take care.